Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Joseph. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice game.
Touchdown, Broncos.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the 1st quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
And before the punt, time is going to run out on this 1st quarter. But likely not for long as they're in punt 4. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's pulled in at the 32. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
They'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And some room to roam now. And he's brought down. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver 1st down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper in the territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Oh, a good move at the 5. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down, and inside the 5-yard line.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now before they run the timeout, they'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. Back to throw here. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Point after try forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Short kick. One of the up. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And now it's 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Throwing, Hundley. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Taking it about the 16. Oh, good hurdle. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to loft one deep left. It's caught at the 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Benny Fowler, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Now, he's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play... You've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. If you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes, he just takes off and goes. And I think that's what we just saw there.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're able to return this one all the way up to the 45.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bates. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. 23 yards on the play. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So the offense lining up 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here we go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the Broncos get there and take him down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. The Saints on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and forever. They'll set up to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Saints haven't played their best football and trail because of it. The Broncos have come in and looked good as the road team, and will just keep trying to play hard and maintain the lead going forward. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Moving to late in the first quarter, they'll go to the ground here, and a quick 3-play drive ends with a score as they get out to a 7-0 lead. 4th and long. Here the pass goes into the end zone, and he'd cap off the 10-play drive with a TD. As they move out in front, 14-0. 1st and 10. Here a throw deep down the field is caught, and this will go as a touchdown. As they go up here at 21-0. Saints take over late in the second. Offensive line won't be able to hold up here. This will go as a loss of 10. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. For the second half kickoff, let's get back to New Orleans and Brandon Gott.
This is fielded at the goal line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. third. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And I think I saw that right. You tell me if I'm wrong. That was just a fly route, just a go. He went.
Sometimes speed, just pure speed, is going to win. I don't care how athletic you are on the other side of the ball. When a guy's that fast and he can just take off, if a quarterback has time to throw the ball and release it when he wants to, that's the end result. Nothing you could do about that. He was just a better athlete on that play.
Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Saints on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go. 1, 9, 5.
He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Harmon. And he'll be knocked down sideways. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, he'll have to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, churning the legs a little bit, and gaining what he needed for a first down?
Well, that's the deal on third down. These guys, they know where the sticks are. He obviously knew right there.
And if you want to be a dependable third down receiver, you've got to be willing to absorb those types of hits and make those sort of plays. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll run it now out of the gun and give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And he stopped immediately there. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers, no matter what it says on the score.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
Back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Joseph. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Broncos continue to pour it on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also...
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride is...
And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Trevor Siemian taking it in from the 20, and the Broncos add on. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm?
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Broncos.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Broncos capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Call it a 3-yard gain, and all of a sudden here it's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is taken around the 12. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They go play action here on first down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Broncos continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're able to return this one all the way up to the 45.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Looking to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. The Saints on third down. They're hitting it just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's go. 1, 9, 5.
They'll drop the throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Now let's go. Green, 30.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he whips that one incomplete there. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now back to throw. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Out of the gun now on third down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. They run it again with Kamara. Space to maneuver at the 40. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you. Leak out.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there for the big one. Sack number 200 for his career, tying him with Bruce Smith for the all-time NFL record.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, he'll force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. This is taken at about the 14. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Around the NFL fourth quarter right now in Atlanta. And that one belonging to the Buccaneers. Jameis Winston, 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. They'll look to throw here. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You need that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
Second down following the incompletion. That one looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle this time to Fowler. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Broncos, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Oakland to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they're going the wrong way, as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long.